Most people think Mars is a candy company. M&Ms, Snickers, Milky Way, Twix. But Mars is much stranger than that. It is one of the largest private companies in America, with more than $50 billion in annual sales. It owns candy, pet food, rice, nutrition bars, and even veterinary hospitals. And the wild part is this: the empire started with failure. Frank Mars grew up with polio, spent long stretches at home, and learned candy making from his mother. But becoming a candy entrepreneur was not easy. His first businesses failed. He moved cities. He went bankrupt. His family life fell apart. For years, Mars was not a success story. It was a survival story. Then Frank found the product that changed everything: the Milky Way. At the time, chocolate bars were still becoming a mass-market habit. Frank's idea was simple but brilliant. Take the flavor of a malted milkshake, turn it into a candy bar, and make it affordable enough for ordinary people to buy again and again. That was the first big Mars lesson: do not just sell a product, sell a repeatable craving. Milky Way gave Mars momentum. Snickers added another hit. But the company did not become legendary until Frank's son, Forrest Mars, entered the story. Forrest was intense, demanding, and obsessed with systems. He did not think like a small candy maker. He thought like an industrial builder. He cared about efficiency, margins, distribution, branding, and scale. He wanted candy to be made with discipline, sold everywhere, and repeated with consistency. That is what made Mars different. A chocolate bar is not just chocolate. It is ingredients, factories, shelf space, pricing, packaging, advertising, and trust. Forrest understood that the real business was the machine behind the candy. Then came one of the greatest product ideas in candy history: M&Ms. Chocolate had one obvious problem: it melts. M&Ms solved that with a candy shell. That tiny product design made chocolate easier to carry, easier to share, and easier to sell in more situations. It was not just a snack. It was a distribution upgrade. Mars then did what great consumer companies do. It turned product advantages into memory. The colors, the bag, the characters, the slogan, the habit. M&Ms became one of the most recognizable candies on Earth. But Mars did not stop at chocolate. The company took the same playbook into pet food, then rice, then nutrition, then animal hospitals. First, that sounds random. Candy and pet hospitals do not feel like the same business. But the logic is clearer when you look underneath. Mars likes categories with recurring demand. People buy candy repeatedly. They feed pets repeatedly. They visit vets repeatedly. These are not one-time purchases. They are habits, routines, and relationships. That is the hidden Mars flywheel. Build or buy trusted brands. Use operational discipline to improve margins. Use distribution to reach more households. Use private ownership to think long-term. Then reinvest the cash into the next durable category. Because Mars stayed private, it did not have to explain every move to public markets every quarter. It could be quiet, patient, and extremely long-term. That privacy became part of the moat. While other companies chased headlines, Mars built depth. It acquired businesses, kept many of them operating independently, and focused on compounding. The result is one of the most unusual empires in business. A company that began with failed candy shops now sells some of the world's most famous snacks, feeds millions of pets, owns veterinary clinics, and still operates with a culture of secrecy. The biggest lesson from Mars is not sell candy. The lesson is this: a simple product can become a massive company if it sits inside the right system. A candy bar is small. A habit is powerful. A brand is durable. A distribution network is hard to copy. And a private company with patience can compound for generations. Mars did not win because chocolate is rare. It won because it turned everyday cravings into repeatable economics. That is the real Mars story. Not just candy. A quiet machine built from brands, habits, discipline, and time.